Hello, this is David and welcome to Make Me Proud, the video series sharing the story of my campaign to become a better sprint swimmer. And in this episode, we're going to be taking a look back at and conducting a technical analysis of my 200 meters freestyle race from the Swim England Masters Nationals Short Course Championships 2023. For those of you that were following my channel back at Masters Nationals will know that I came in with a personal best time of 2 minutes 18.71 seconds, destroying my previous personal best of 2 minutes 22.24, a 3.5 second improvement, no less. So as a result, we're going to be taking a look to see what I did well in this race and what I did to improve my personal best in this event by so much. And similarly, taking a look at areas for improvement and how I can get even better in this event. So if you give this video a like, I would very much appreciate it. And remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel / follow my Facebook page so that you know of whenever I upload any new videos. New episodes of Make Me Proud come out every Sunday evening, but otherwise, without any further ado, let's dive right in to today's technical analysis. So I get off to a great start in this 200 meters freestyle. However, key to this event, unlike a 50 or 100 meters free, is to not get too excited in the earlier stages of the event and burn off all your energy so that in the latter stages of the race, you can really maintain your speed and come back strong to hold on for as good a time as you can. Typically, when doing 200 meters frees in the past, I've utterly failed to achieve this, going out way too hard and getting slower and slower with each subsequent 50. However, a good 200 should be fast in your first 50, benefiting from the dive, and then each subsequent 50 thereafter, you would come in with a very similar time, and that is what I managed to achieve here. I go out in a 32 and manage to come back in each subsequent 50 in a 35. And as you can see, in comparison to the rest of the field, this strategy really pays off well, because over the first 100, I kept myself towards the front of the pack, but not doing it too much. And now in the second 100, you can see that I've clearly established a lead, which hopefully I'm then able to hold on to for the rest of the race. One thing that I could be doing better in this heat is when coming into the tumble turn, as you're about to see here, really to not breathe once I've gone past the flags so that I can tumble turn well, get as close to the wall as I can, meaning I can push off and get enough distance out of the wall, and then similarly with the breakout, not breathe until I've really come out of those underwaters and had a couple of strokes. So don't manage that here, and that's something to improve on for later events. But otherwise, this 200 meters is really well executed for myself, and I've managed to stay in the front towards the back end, to the back 25. I get a little bit of competition over the final length. However, I managed to hold on strong for a 2:18.71 and a heat victory. So there are two key talking points to come out of that race for me. The first of which is my pace control, and the second of which is my breathing pattern, specifically when coming into and out of tumble turns. So starting with the pace control, and this is something that I'm really pleased with how I executed in this 200 meters free, because typically when I've done them in the past, I've always gone out far too quickly and therefore just absolutely dying, especially when you get to the end of the fifth length. Then 6, 7, 8 are just really difficult, just cannot maintain my speed whatsoever. And as a result, my 50s just, each subsequent 50 just gets slower and slower. However, that wasn't the case in this 200 meters freestyle. I really managed my pace well, which meant that I was able to come in strong, just as strong as I had gone out in, where I went out first 50 in a 32, benefiting from the dive, which is why it was a little bit quicker than the subsequent 350s, which were all 35 points, which means I pretty much hit the nail on the head with regards to pace control. I say pretty much is because not quite. At the end of this 200 meters, I wasn't feeling quite as tired as I normally do at the end of a 200 meters, which sort of leads me to believe that I could have gone a little bit faster in this race. I could have burnt out a whole lot more energy, a little bit more energy, and have come back in a quicker time had I spread that out over the course of the race. So maybe instead of going out in a 32, if I went out in a 31.5 and then 34.5s in the subsequent 50s, there could be room for improvement across that 200, just going out a little bit quicker, but then again, not too much as to avoid the issue of not pacing myself well enough. So I do think that there's room for improvement there, where I can go out just that little bit quicker and come back just a little bit quicker in order to take more time off of that 200 meters. But otherwise, when it comes to pace control, this is something that I'm really happy with how I executed this time around. So moving on to my breathing pattern when coming into and out of the wall. So the thing that I really want to achieve here is ultimately, when I get past the flags, to take no breaths when coming into the wall, and similarly coming out, taking no breaths up to the flags, and then also not taking any breaths, maybe in the first couple of strokes, so that I get a really good breakout and I'm not slowing myself down on the breakout of each tumble turn by moving my head to the side to breathe. So that's just maintaining my speed out of the turn in this 200 meters. And because there are so many tumble turns in comparison to a 50 and 100, this is quite an important thing because you are fastest when you are coming out of a turn or off of a dive, and therefore it's really important that you decrease drag and maintain your speed as much as you can coming out of them. If you slow yourself down when coming out of a turn, it just means that you've got to put a bit more power down to increase the speed. So you really want to be using the turns to your advantage as much as possible, and the more tumble turns that there are in a race, the more important that is to get right, where I didn't execute that here. However, it's something for me to train on, and in the future it's certainly more difficult the longer the race goes on, whereas I've managed to really hone my breathing skills in the 50 meters, and then similarly in the 100 meters, which I did at Europeans. I was really happy with my breathing in those two events. Because I'm not as well practiced in 200 meters, it gets a little bit difficult, and the more tired that you get throughout the course of a race, just the more that you want to breathe, and the harder it is holding on. So certainly something to work on in training if I want to significantly improve my 200 meters. However, I think it's there. I think it's something that I can execute reasonably easily, and as a result take off a significant another decent chunk out of my 200 meters. So something to work on there. However, I think that's it. I think those are the two key talking points from this race. As always, I can go faster if I'm stronger and have a more powerful stroke. However, that's something that I'm developing over time, and in these technical analyses is always taken as a given. As I'm not an elite athlete, there's always room for improvement there, And yeah, therefore that is, if I included that as a talking point, it would be the case in every single one of these technical analyses. So take that as a given in this. But otherwise, if you spotted something with my 200 meters freestyle that you think that I can improve on, please put that down in the comment section down below to the side, whichever platform you're using. Because I really enjoy hearing from you, and again, it really helps me to improve my stroke and get better ideas, see what I'm missing from these technical analyses, and just get a different range of opinions so that I can go ahead and work on that in training and bring my PB down even more. So if you do that, once again, I would really appreciate it. But otherwise, that is it for today's technical analysis. I've been David Westcough. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Subscribe to my channel to make sure that you're notified of whenever I upload any new videos. Click on the thumbnail to watch another video of mine, or for my fellow master swimmers, to gain clarity and confidence on how to eat in order to improve your swim times, head to westcough.com/masterclass.